All right, we got another. This is an X-Wing 2.0 Hyperspace League match between Stephen Cubberley and myself. Stephen's on the left-hand side of the board, and I am on the right. Stephen's flying two Resistance A-Wings and two T-70s. He's flying, and the A-Wings, he's flying Talli and Lulo. Both pilots have Heroic and Crackshot. Ello has the astromech that allows you to go over or ignore rocks if you spend the charge. Can't remember what that one is, but he also has Heroic. And then Nien has Pattern Analyzer and Heroic. I'm flying four T-65s. Two of them are the Blue Squadron pilots with no upgrades. One of them is Garven, the T-65 PS4 that allows you to, when you spend a focus, to pass it off to a friendly ship at range 1 to 3, I believe. And then I'm also flying, Garven has the I believe it's the R2 astromech, the one that has 2 charges, allows you to regen shields, and he also has Predator. I'm also flying Wedge Antilles. Wedge has Swarm Tactics, Shield Upgrade, and the regen droid as well. My tactics are going to be, of course, trying to get Garven up to PS6, fire, use the focus, and allow Wedge to capitalize off of a focus target lock after that. That 2 PS6 shots. The Blue Squadron pilots are there for filler. They're very bulky. They can do a lot of damage if you ignore them, so they're good filler. Of course, Steven's list is not really a jousting type list. The two A-Wings want to probably try to sweep in from a flanking shot, while the two T-70s try to take the bulk of someone's joust. We're rolling out here. This is round 1, so... Steven opted for all 4 of his ships 4 straight and a barrel roll. I one banked and barrel rolled most of my ships. I did do a little bit of an offset formation, mostly because I had to be prepared for whichever way he went. I figured he might try to go for the open space joust, but just in case he tried to swoop in from a different direction with those A-Wings, I wanted to make sure I was kind of taking a slow roll, giving myself the ability to just one straight if I needed to, or 2 turn to get a different position if it looked like he was moving in a different direction. Also, I'm trying to keep Wedge in an area with Swarm Tactics, because Swarm Tactics doesn't work at range 0, so I got to be careful that I don't bump him into my other ships. And so I'm going to kind of move him to the outside of the board to get a better positioning. Okay, now this is going to be the end of round 1. I were both positioned to joust on the open side of the board there. Again, I'm cautiously approaching it because I'm going to have to commit to the joust before he does, and I don't want to put myself in a bad position. Entering round 2, I'm really expecting those A-Wings of Stevens to either 2 turn to the bottom of the board or go 5 straight, and to avoid the joust, but I can't be for sure what he's going to try to do here to me, so playing cautiously, I think I continue to 1 straight, maintaining a slow approach so that I make him commit to the first moves before I have to do anything drastic or whatever it might be. Steven also kind of has a non-committal two bank here. I think he's probably expecting me to commit to something, but in regards to this movement, I feel like I have the advantage here because he doesn't have a whole list of next good moves. Now, of course, with those A wings, if he decided to, he still could five straight the next round and probably put me in a bind. And I'm gonna have to keep that in consideration when I move into what appears is going to be a joust the next round. I believe I won straight here with Wedge and barrel roll down. Again, I'm just trying to keep my options for my joust open a little bit. I don't want him shooting at Wedge. If Wedge goes down, he's got the bulk of my list beat, and he could win. His win condition is pretty easy at that point. So as I'm approaching here, I got to be really cautious. To one, stay at range one of Garven so I can capitalize off of his focus, and to not be in a whole bevy of his shots, or at least easy shots for him to make. So we're gonna enter round three here. I really wish the T65 had a native boost without having to sacrifice offense. Even if it had something like the T70, where if I kept in the bullseye, I could maintain it. But unfortunately, those ships do not have it. Okay, so we're entering into the third round of the match. Again, no combat, but obviously this is do or die round here. Who's gonna be the one who positions themselves best for not only this joust but the round after? Four straight here from my first Blue Squadron pilot. He'll focus. I figure if he did a 3 or 4, I'd block him up. If he did a 2, then I have a nice range one shot with one of my least important ships, I guess. My other Blue Squadron is just going to one straight here. One thing I had to be cautious of is the fact that that rock's right in front of me, and I'm not going to be able to keep going straight forever. So I wanted to leave myself open for a 2-turn or a 3-talon roll on my next move. Yeah, I was going to 2 straight here again. I'm looking for positioning opportunity because I'm going to be firing at a PS6, and also with Wedge, my thought was that I dialed in a 2 bank, and that a 2 bank would still put me at range 1 of Garven to capitalize off of his ability and swarm tactics, but also maintain a decent shot at the at whatever it is I'm trying to focus down. Steven kind of plays into my hands a little bit here. He does a 2 straight. I think even at its worst, you might just want to try to bump those first couple ships so that I can't focus fire or something. But that's Lulo there in the front too, and obviously he doesn't want to stress that ship because it's going to be reduced dice or whatever it might be. But even still, there's something to be said to have the extra dice. Maybe he can PS kill something before Lulo gets taken off the board. Of course, a 2 bank from Wedge here. I'm going to target lock Lulo as my prime opportunity to focus fire. Of course, I'm going to be able to make Garven a PS6 so that I can shoot before his PS5s with the potential to maybe kill something before he fires. Dargalock Lulo, I think that's, to me, is one of his most obnoxious ships, but it's mostly because it's fast and agile, and if I let it get away, it's going to have a lot of heavy hitting dice coming back at me sooner than later. Gavin's a range 2, unfortunately, to Lulo. That would have been a good range 1 shot if I could have got it. No bullseye, so no predator. I roll well, and Steven rolls well. He rolls 2 evades and a focus, decides not to spend the focus, and take 1 damage. Comes a shot from Wedge. I'm going to roll 2 hits, re-roll a blank into a blank. Unfortunately, that was almost could have been really good for me. If I could have rolled that into paint, then I really would have put a hurting on Lulo early. He rolls 1 evade, so goes his other shield. Not in bad shape, but definitely half points on Lulo right in the first engagement. Steven's going to take all of his shots on Garven, and he's going to roll well on 1 or 2 of them. And he's going to use crack shot off Talli, but he's also going to have a whole litany of bad rolls where he rolls 2 blanks and a hit. So while he was rolling pretty well defensively, his offensive rolls give me the advantage in our early joust. Lulo, 2 blanks and a focus, and he doesn't want to spend his focus. And Talli crack shotted my only evade, so Garven takes 2 shields on that shot from Talli. And evaded that shot. Now my 2 Blue Squadron pilots are going to shoot at Lulo. Steven blanked out the first roll and then heroicked into a few dodges. Still took 1 damage off my roll. Range 1 shot from my other Blue Squadron pilot, and I roll 2 hits, and I believe he only rolls 1 evade, so Lulo is off the board. All right, entering round 4. I'm in a decent position. I can't obviously do K turns, but I'm going to be able to pull off at least one Talon roll. I probably could have Talon rolled that front Blue Squadron, but I didn't want to risk it. I went straight in and took a target lock on 9 Num. The second Blue Squadron will Talon roll, putting him in position for the inevitable K turns from Steven's list. I am missing 2 shields on Garven, so I do decide to regen one of them here, which is going to weapons disabled. Obviously, I didn't really feel like I could get him in a good position, so instead of trying, I just went ahead and got my shield back and put myself in position to maneuver next round. I do make a little bit of a mistake where I target lock 9 Num, and I probably should have focused it for defense, and it's gonna make me pay with some damage in this next round of shooting. Of course, Wedge moving last is in prime opportunity to position himself for a nice shot on whatever it is that Steven does with the remainder of his list. That's a 3 bank, and I really didn't think Steven was going to be in position to shoot at him again. I probably should have flipped his S foils and boosted and focused here, just to give him a little bit of more of a running room. Of course, I did not. So, though 9 Num does have that has pattern analyzer, and that's going to give him a lot of maneuverability on his off his Talon rolls, and I just didn't identify it before I made the move. Talli Talon rolled here. I think it might have been a little better to just 3 bank and turn the arc, but that way you could at least have a focus. But Steven's trying to maintain his ability to keep me closed in here. Hello, Etsy's 4K. And then so stressed, obviously. Wedge, I'm going to 1 straight here and target lock. I do not do well with my target locks. I do not get enough damage out considering I've been range 1 target locked several times on this match. Now, what we believe is true about Pattern Analyzer and 9 Num is that he can do his action before he gets the stress, and since he drops that stress after he completes that, he can go into his action phase and then do an action. I'm not 100% sure that's right, but I don't see anywhere where I would think that would be wrong. So the combination should work. Of course, I guess we'll find that out over the course of the next couple of weeks when the hyperspace comes up, because I'm sure we're not the only ones who are thinking about doing that. My rolls do not help me out here. I'm going to target lock Ello. I'm going to roll 4 dice at him. He has 1 green dice, so he can't use heroic. I'm going to roll like a hit, 2 blanks and a focus. I might even roll 3 blanks and a focus, but ultimately I end up with 2 hits here. I have my Blue Squadron who Talon rolled at range 1 of Ello also. I roll 1 hit, and he rolls an evade. I had Swarm Tactics that Blue Squadron to a PS6. So if the dice gods were working for me, I would have done better here, but did not happen. Not great rolling, so Steven can complain about his offensive rolling as well, but mine were just as bad consistently. So it evens out here throughout the game. Steven shooting at that Blue Squadron pilot. Did one shield that time. I think he does another here. It's tokenless, so but if I'm going to have him shoot at any of them, I definitely am okay with him shooting at the Blue Squadron pilots. He's going to roll 4 natural hits here on Garven and put him in a bind because I do not roll any evade, so I believe it's going to leave him with 1 or 2 hit points left. Oh, I take that back. I rolled 2 natural evades, so I'm going to take 2 hits here. It's going to put me 1 into hull. I'm going to have 3 hull left in the next round. Turn 5, and the match is still relatively even, so I'm going to 3-turn here with that Blue Squadron, trying to pin, if Steven goes for Garven to try to kill him with one of his ships, that I'm going to have all of mine pointing back at him to at least get a couple of shots back off on him. So I have 9 num target lock, so I have him target lock and focused right now. So if 9 num turns towards the bottom of the board, I gave myself some cover with the Blue Squadron pilot. That Blue Squadron was stressed, but I 3-turned him anyways, trying to get a better position again. I'm not too concerned about them, other than I need them pointing at things and shooting at them, and if they take the brunt of shots, then I'm okay with that too. Talon rolled down. I probably should have maybe 3-turned down and ran for it, but still not a bad spot if I decide to fire back at some of his ship. Nine num 1 straights, and I was going to have a range 1 shot on my Blue Squadron. And you can see all 3 of his ships are pointed at that Blue Squadron, so it is probably not long for this world. As a fully healthy Blue Squadron, and you could probably see it right now. It's going to go down this round, which is unfortunate. I got another range 1 shot with Wedge on Ello. I'm going to target lock again here, and again, not roll as well as I would hope. That is a hit crit. He rolls 1 of aid, and that's the that is the crit that if he does anything other than take a streak, he takes damage. Can't remember the name of it. It's going to come into effect because he forgets that he has that, and he's going to do something other than a straight this next round. So he will have two damage onto Ello, leaving him with 2 hull left after this round. There's 4 damage onto from 9. A good roll onto my blue squadron. I'm not going to roll any evades, I don't think. So I'm going to take. Maybe I do. Oh, no. I roll a focus and I spend it. So I take 3 hits on my blue squadron. And then Talli's going to fire here. Range 1, he's going to roll 3 hits. This is where Steven's dice start to heat up. I don't roll any evades. I have this sort of 2 focuses there. And that's obviously going to kill my ship. Roll 1 hit on Ello. He's going to roll 1 evade and get out of this one without damage. Entering round 6 here. This is where the game turns for Steven. I'm going to 3-turn my blue squadron up to get him facing Steven's ships so that I can have some start rolling some more dice at his ships. Hopefully put him get his back against the wall. I'm going to regen a shield for Garven, giving me 2 hit points. I just assume also there's no good way for me to get any kind of damage out here. Or even have shots considering where his stuff is facing. Though he is going to Talon roll with 9 num here, and he's going to Talon roll himself off the board. I know why he was going that direction. I probably would have tried the same thing, but it is just off the board. So obviously he flew a perfectly healthy ship right off the board. Now, consideration of the game state, Ello has 2 hit points left. I'm about to roll up here and just annihilate Talli. My Wedge has a shield upgrade and regen, and I am not damaged. So while the T-70 definitely is more maneuverable, if I get him down to where it's half a Garven on half a Ello and half a or a full 9, that is a crapshoot on who wins that match. So definitely still a very, very close game right now, but him taking a fully healthy ship off the board obviously is not helping his chances, and it cost him the game here. So he's off the board. We get 2 or 3 people to look at it because it's funny enough for everyone to come and see. There's Greg. He's going to be the final judge. So he's dead. So Ello or Talli's gonna sloop here, do the 3 sloop, get his ships facing back towards this side of the board. Again, here this is not a 1 straight, so it's going to cost him a damage here. Not a bad move either. Ello's going to Talon roll. It's white, and he's going to boost down. Really good move. Though I kind of anticipated something along the lines of that, so I 2 bank to get myself in position with Wedge, and what that's going to do is that's going to put me at range 1 of Talli. So so I'm gonna roll up here with Wedge. I'm gonna take a range 1 shot at Talli. Gonna get 3 hits through, and then sorry, my microphone went out there for a second. Anyway, so I'm going to 2 bank here. Range 1, Talli, 3 hits. I believe Talli's going to try to take a range 1 at Wedge. Of course, he's not modified, so he's not... Again, I don't remember if he does any... I don't think he does any damage here. I'm going to take a long range. Of course, Gavin's disabled, so he can't fire. Which is too bad. I think I could have probably put some damage in on Ello if I was thinking it through. But you know, I getting the shield back is probably important also, because I don't want her to die. I don't want it to be an easy target, an easy kill. So, and then you're going to see a range 3 shot from my blue squadron. It's going to eventually kill Talli, and I don't make Steven finish the game. Obviously, he has a 2 hit point ship, and I have 3 ships on the board, so he concedes after that. Anyways, I'm going to get this one up on the website. Hope it shows you anything interesting on any list that you can use for Hyperspace. And I hope to have some more lists up here soon for you guys to watch. Thanks, bye.